It's Ravens week here in Cleveland, so you know who I gotta connect with. My guy, IngravenVids. He and I have had some fantastic collaborations over the past few years. He is a huge Baltimore Ravens fan, so he's very knowledgeable about the team. But he's also very knowledgeable about everything in the NFL. So it makes for awesome conversations. And I hope he and I can keep this partnership going for years to come. And when you're talking about the Ravens, they're currently 4-5, and they're playing the final game of a 3-game road trip, in which they are currently 2-0, having defeated the likes of the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings in the matchup of purple teams. And whenever you talk about the Ravens, it starts and ends with number 8, Lamar Jackson. If he is healthy, you have to consider the Ravens to be a legitimate contender, even though Lamar has not yet gotten the job done in the playoffs. And we know what he can do in the regular season, but come postseason, that's where the pressure really ramps up. So, can Lamar deliver come postseason time? That still remains to be seen. And John Harbaugh, he's a fantastic coach. It's why the Ravens are usually, winning the division. Hell, they won the Super Bowl back in 2012. But that's been their only Super Bowl appearance under John Harbaugh. So, I don't know what to make of this team. Honestly, I know they're a very good team. They should be considered a contender. But if you're a contender, you got to get the job done in the postseason. And for whatever reason, under Lamar, the Ravens have not yet been able to cross the finish line. I have them losing to the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 60 this season, which right now, neither team really looks like a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Just gotta be frank about it. But for the Ravens, like I said, they are 4-5. They are currently just behind the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think Baltimore is going to chase the Steelers down. They have yet to play each other this season. By the way, Ravens-Steelers is not just the best rivalry in the AFC North. It's not just the best rivalry in the AFC. It is the best rivalry in all of the NFL. Yes, that's right. As a Cleveland Browns fan, I am saying Ravens-Steelers is the best rivalry in all of the NFL. In fact, I have it as a top 3 rivalry in all of sports, alongside Duke, North Carolina, and Michigan, Ohio State. But before we get too sidetracked, let's get back to this game. Like I said, the Ravens, it starts and ends with Lamar Jackson. But flipping it over to the Cleveland Browns, after losing against the New York Jets last week in New Jersey, I thought for sure I would see a notification at some point on Monday saying Kevin Stefanski has been fired by the Cleveland Browns. But that is not the case, and so Stefanski will remain on the sidelines. And in terms of Dillon Gabriel, I was very much so on the Dillon Gabriel hype train. Before the season, when we drafted him in the 3rd round, I was so excited because I saw what he did at the University of Oregon last season, including in that huge top 3 showdown at Autzen Stadium under the lights against Ohio State, when he was throwing deep passes and Oregon was able to defeat Ohio State. Of course, the Buckeyes would get their revenge in the college football playoff, but I digress. But what I saw at the University of Oregon has not translated to the NFL. And so my confidence level in both Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel are quickly eroding. Now, I'll give Dillon Gabriel a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he's a rookie. But with Kevin Stefanski, no, he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. And it sucks because I've been a huge Kevin Stefanski defender, saying even if we go 3-14 again, I would not fire him. He is a 2-time Coach of the Year. He has gotten the Cleveland Browns into the playoffs twice. But from what I've seen on the field these past couple weeks against the Jets, against the Patriots, and amongst other games this season, I'm like, I don't know if I can continue defending him. Like last week against the Jets, they weren't going to run a play on that 4th down, and we get called for offside. How does that happen? How? We allowed a kick return for a touchdown, and then immediately followed that up with a punt return for a touchdown. I don't know. I don't know. And then you look at the other side, John Harbaugh has been the head coach for the Ravens for years. He won a Super Bowl back in 2012, and he usually has the Ravens near the top of the AFC North. They've won the division multiple times, and they are perennial playoff contenders. They just got to finish the job. But in terms of this game on Sunday, yes, I expect us to do well against Derrick Henry. We did pretty well against him back in week 2. We just kind of didn't stop Lamar Jackson or anybody else on the Ravens offense, really. And I kind of expect that to be the story again. I got Baltimore winning this game pretty comfortably, 31-17. If Dylan Gabriel has another bad game, I think Shedeur Sanders should start. If DG has a bad game on Sunday against the Ravens, then when we play the Las Vegas Raiders next week in Vegas, Shedeur Sanders should be the starter. And if it's not against the Raiders, then I would save it for week 14 when we host Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans. But now I'm going to pass it over to my guy, IngravenVids, so he can give you his thoughts on the game.
And just like that, we are officially back for round 2. First and foremost, shout out to you, my guy, Unga to the max. Always appreciate you. Always appreciate how positive you are. Always appreciate how you've been supporting for years. Like I said last time, I don't even remember how long it's been, but you have been rocking with us, and we've been rocking with you for a long time now. So I appreciate you, my friend. Now, in this game, we may be friends, we may be cool, but in this game, our team certainly won't be, because we have part 2 of Ravens versus Browns. This time, it will be in Cleveland. For part 1, it was great. Oh, we loved it. We won, 41-17. That was a nice game for us. Then our season started going the opposite direction, and after that, we did pick it up. So we back now. We got life now, and this is a game that the Baltimore Ravens need. It's a requirement for us to get back to 500. And that's so crazy to say. But I don't think that this game is going to go the way that the last one went. I wouldn't be mad if it did. Now, I do still think the Baltimore Ravens are going to win, but I don't think it's going to be this big blowout. I think the score is going to be 30-15, because I know Browns are going to bring it. Browns are going to bring it. The Browns, they are going to want to play spoiler. They are going to want to try to dampen the Ravens' season. But it's so important that the Baltimore Ravens don't let it happen. Dylan Gabriel, he just hasn't been looking too good this season thus far. Even though, hey, you're welcome, because Dylan Gabriel, in that first Ravens-Browns game, we got him his very first NFL touchdown. So that he has history with the Baltimore Ravens. So you're welcome, because that actually made the score look a lot better than it was. Score could have been 41-10. But since Dylan Gabriel got in the game after Joe Flacco got benched, he ended up throwing a touchdown. So there you go. Anyway, Judkins, he's amazing. That man, he is a real deal running back. He runs with power. He runs with good speed. He's very smart. He is amazing. And that's another. You're welcome, Browns fans, because Judkins is another one. He played his very first NFL game against the Baltimore Ravens. So you're welcome. You're welcome. We just giving you guys all your starters on offense, the rookies. But he's really, really good. And it's going to be so important that the Baltimore Ravens, they slow him down. They have to. It's a requirement that they slow him down. Because if they can slow him down and force Dylan Gabriel to try to win the game, then I think that's when it could be a big problem for the Browns. So that's the goal. Run defense is going to have to show up big time in this one. Flipping it to the other side of the ball, you all have not only one of the best defenders in the NFL, but just one of the best players in the NFL with Myles Garrett. He is just amazing. He is a game wrecker. He is a just consistently great at his job. He is consistently consistent. So it's going to be important that the Baltimore Ravens, they do everything that they can to keep him out of the game. Usually every Ravens-Browns game, he usually makes a play or two, whether it's being a sack, tackle for loss. It's always something. So I'm sure he's going to make a few plays, but don't let him take over the game. Do not let him take over the game. I know you saying the exact opposite. You want him to take over the game, but no, we don't need Myles Garrett doing any of that. But yeah, I think this will be a stressful one. I think this will be a game with some little annoying plays here and there. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens will end up edging it out 30-15. Again, Unga, I always appreciate you. Sorry we couldn't do this live. But I appreciate you being so flexible by allowing me to still take part in sharing my game preview with you and your followers. Much love to you, my friend. Keep doing what you're doing and keep being amazing.